People want business people more than ever to go to Washington, D.C. People that understand about a payroll. I still meet the payroll. People that understand what it's like to work in this day and time. And I would say to all of you, if you haven't been in business since September of '08, you have not been in business. And do not be fooled by anybody in my race that said they're a business person. I'm the only one in this race that owns a business. I'm the only one fighting these government regulations coming down from Washington right now. And I'm tired of it. We don't need more rules makers up in Washington. We need people like all of us who are on the receiving end that can fix the problem. We need people like me, like you, that will make business decisions, not political decisions in Washington, D.C. We're seeing it on both sides of the aisle. That's the reason we got problems now. We got people up there that do not want to lose. They want to stay up here. They've made it a career. It never was a career. It used to be you couldn't get them to go, now you can't get them to come home. So I've already had my career. I'm 61 years old. I've had a great career, but it's time for me to go up there. I'll serve 2 terms if you allow me. I'll take my health care from my little business in Weatherford, Texas. No Social Security because there's no money there, okay? So with that being said, let me quickly tell you how we fix this economy. None of it will be new to any of you because you get it, but they don't get it in Washington, D.C. We've got to put people to work. Right now, small business is getting hammered. Mom and dads and grandpas are getting hammered. This is a tough, tough time for our economy. Here's how we turn it around tomorrow. Number 1, we've got to cut the corporate income tax. Number 2, we've got to cut the personal income tax. Number 3, let's cut the capital gains tax. Let's cut the dividends tax. Let's cut the payroll tax. Immediate infusion in people's checks on the 1st and 15th of every month. Let's bring back the old 10% investment tax credit, where you can buy a piece of equipment and take a 10% tax deduction the year you bought it. Let's make sure we can allow manufacturing to accelerate their depreciation on big purchase items. We got a tax system, I think most of you agree with, is totally busted. 50% of the people are not paying anything in America. Everybody's got to invest in America. They're using our freeways, our police, our fire, they're breathing our air. Everybody's got to invest in America. That's why we've got to begin serious dialogue on a fair or a flat tax. Either one is better than what we've got today. We've got to do away with the inheritance tax. Most unfair tax there is anywhere. Okay? I can show you we do away with the inheritance tax. We had 1.5 million jobs in America tomorrow. Because right now, if you're like me, I'm saving money to pass cash on to my heirs. Or maybe you have an insurance policy that you're paying a premium on to give an insurance policy. I say do away with the inheritance tax. Now we don't have to save. Now we don't need the insurance policy. Now we can pass net worth on to our heirs is what we should be. That's what America's about. So those are the things we need to be talking about. That would bring jobs to America tomorrow. We need to get the government out of health care. They have no business being in the health care business. We got 85% of people in America have health care. Let's worry about the 15 why they don't and ask them why they don't, but let's not penalize the 85%. We need to own our own health care individually. We need to shop across state lines. There's 1,800 insurance companies tonight that want to bid on your business. And you know what that'll do? That'll drive prices down because that's called competition and it'll bring services up. That's what we need to do. We need to make it tax deductible. We need to throw a little tort reform in there, much like we've done in Texas, to make sure that docs can do business and not be sued out of business. We need to do that. That will add a lot of jobs in America. We don't have that problem. The last thing we need to be doing to add jobs in America is this country is the greatest country in the world. We should be driving the energy business in the world. We should not be conserving on anybody. We need to drill in Anwar. We need to drill for gas and oil in the Northwest. We need to drill in the Gulf. We need to drill everywhere. We need to incentivize the oil industry, the gas industry, and not penalize it. And while we're at it, I'm for all the above. I'm like you. I'm for wind, I'm for bio, I'm for solar, you name it. But the problem I have is I want the private sector to tell us where we need to be the next 20, 25 years, and not the federal government. We need to keep them out of it, incentivize the industry, and not penalize the industry. It will add an unbelievable amount of jobs in America. Now, there's a lot more to talk about in our race. We haven't even talked about the deficit. But if nothing happens till we turn this economy around, put people to work with real jobs. Don't believe for 1 minute there's an 8.9% unemployment rate. Don't believe for 1 minute there's a 20% underemployment rate. It's much, much higher than that. So we've got to do the things I'm talking about. I will fight for you. I'm the only business guy in the race. Again, the only one that owns a business. I've had my career. I get it, okay? I understand how to create jobs. I've done it for 40 years. My business has gone from 400 employees to 75 employees. I feel the pain. It's hard right now, but I will be your voice up there. You will be able to count on me. And let me just say this to all of you. You send me to Washington and I'll fight for the following. I'll fight for fairness, family values, limited government, strong defense, lower taxes, quality education, and conservative judges. 2 roadmaps will keep me within the foul line. Number 1 will be the Constitution. The Constitution, as it is written, with the amendments, their bill of rights. It's not living and breathing, Nancy Pelosi, in case you don't know that. So the next roadmap that will keep me with where I need to be will be the Bible. The Bible, because it is a book that fixes problems. It is a book that mends things. And if anything needs fixing or mending, it is Washington, D.C., not tomorrow, but today. And I'm convinced that if I stick with the Constitution and I stick with the Bible, I'm going to be a real good U.S. Senator for everybody in America, everybody in Texas, and everybody right here in this county. You can count on me, as Thomas Jefferson said. He said, when people fear the government, it's called tyranny. But when the government fears the people, it's called liberty. Let's take our country back. Let's say enough. I look forward